Hyundai has quietly turned into one of the most aggressive players in the US auto market. Not long ago, the carmaker was mostly about value and long warranties. Now, it's pushing bold designs, serious tech, and powertrains that can go toe-to-toe with just about anyone. And the momentum isn't slowing down. 2027 looks like the year Hyundai really wants to flex with a wave of fresh models and major updates that could shift how people look at the brand entirely. From practical daily drivers to headline-grabbing newcomers, these are the 7 upcoming Hyundai models for 2027 that everyone will be talking about. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. 2027 Santa Cruz Hybrid. When the truck first showed up, it hit the market like a surprise left hook. Nobody really knew if buyers wanted a compact unibody pickup that leaned more toward lifestyle than worksite duty. Turns out, yeah, they absolutely did. Still, there was one thing owners kept circling back to: efficiency. Park it next to the hybrid version of the Ford Maverick, and the difference in fuel economy was pretty hard to ignore. That's exactly what Hyundai is fixing for 2027. The long-expected hybrid Santa Cruz is finally coming, and it looks like a very calculated upgrade. Early expectations point to around 35 mpg combined and roughly 200 horsepower. Not wild numbers, but right in the sweet spot for what this truck is supposed to be. If Hyundai gets the pricing right, this could easily become one of the most interesting small trucks to watch in 2027. 2027 Palisade. It feels like the SUV has been everywhere since the day it launched. It didn't just enter the midsize class, it planted itself right near the top and stayed there. But time flies, and the SUV is due for a full overhaul. The current Palisade still sells like crazy, which actually makes the redesign even more interesting. When a vehicle is already a proven hit, automakers don't play it safe, they go all in to keep it ahead of the pack. Right now, there aren't spy shots or concrete specs floating around. What we do know is that the 2027 Palisade is about to push further into the premium territory. Design-wise, expect evolution rather than a wild departure. The boxy stance and confident front end are a huge part of its appeal, so the next generation will likely sharpen those traits. One thing is certain, this update is going to draw serious attention. The Palisade isn't just another midsize SUV anymore. It's one of the benchmarks. 2027 Tucson. The crossover isn't exactly old. The current generation still looks sharp and modern, but that's how this segment works. Compact SUVs live in the most cutthroat part of the market, where even small updates can make a big difference in keeping buyers interested. For the 2027 Tucson, the changes should be more of a tune-up than a full transformation. The real buzz, though, is all about something much spicier: the long-rumored Tucson N. This idea has been floating around for years, and the timing finally feels right. Hyundai's N Performance division has already proven it can turn everyday models into genuinely fun machines, and a compact crossover with that treatment would be a big statement. If this version really arrives, it wouldn't just be another trim level. It would lock the 2027 Tucson even more firmly at the top of the compact crossover class. 2027 Santa Fe. The latest generation didn't just arrive, it made noise. That boxy shape was a huge shift from the softer designs before it, and it instantly grabbed attention. Because the facelift is still fresh, 2027 isn't about big visual changes. This is more of a fine-tuning phase, such as small exterior tweaks. The bigger focus will sit under the hood. The current hybrid setup is solid and efficient, but Hyundai knows this matters a lot to buyers in this segment. So the updates should aim at squeezing out a bit more range and making the transition between electric and gas power feel even more seamless. The 2027 Santa Fe is about polishing what's already a very distinctive, very practical SUV, making sure the bold look is backed up by an even more efficient everyday driving experience. 2027 Sonata. In a world that's completely obsessed with crossovers, the Hyundai Sonata is proof that some automakers still believe in the classic midsize sedan formula. Not everyone wants to sit high off the ground or drive something that looks like a rolling box. The current version of the sedan already went through a pretty bold refresh not long ago. In 2027, The update will focus on smaller refinements that keep Sonata feeling fresh without messing with what owners already like. Hyundai is also going to continue polishing the hybrid system. That means smoother power delivery and maybe a bit more electric-only capability in city driving. Small gains, but they add up over thousands of miles. More than anything, the 2027 Sonata sends a clear message: Hyundai isn't walking away from sedans. While many brands are exiting the segment, the Korean company is still investing in it, keeping the Sonata competitive and very relevant. All-new 2027 Genesis GV90. At the very top of Hyundai's luxury ambitions sits a brand that's been moving fast and aiming high: Genesis. In just a few years, it went from being the new kid to a serious contender against long-established premium players. And for 2027, it's getting ready to make its biggest statement yet with the all-new GV90. The upcoming SUV is expected to become the flagship, the one that shows exactly how far Genesis wants to push into true luxury territory. Bigger than the current GV80, more advanced, and much more focused on comfort and technology. Early expectations point strongly toward an all-electric setup, which would fit perfectly with where the brand is heading. But don't write a petrol version yet. Design-wise, Genesis will likely stick to its signature look: clean surfaces, bold lighting signatures, and a very confident stance. More presence and more elegance, less visual noise. The GV90 isn't just about adding another model to the lineup. It's about proving that Genesis can play at the highest level of the luxury SUV world. 2027 Genesis G90. Full-size luxury sedans aren't exactly flying off dealer lots. But models like the Genesis G90 were never about volume in the first place. They exist for a different reason: to show everything a brand is capable of when cost, space, and engineering limits are pushed way up. For 2027, the G90 is expected to get a significant redesign. This car is the halo piece, so expect it to set the tone for the entire lineup, from design language to tech. Details are still under wraps, but the next G90 will likely lean even harder into refinement and quiet sophistication. Inside is where the biggest evolution should happen. The current version already feels like a rolling lounge, so the redesign will probably focus on smarter tech integration, richer materials, and even more emphasis on rear seat comfort. There's also a strong chance electrification plays a bigger role this time around, whether through more advanced hybrid systems or possibly a fully electric variant down the road. In a flagship sedan, smoothness and silence matter more than outright performance, and the electric power fits that character perfectly. So while the G90 won't be the model you see on every street corner, its importance goes far beyond sales charts. It's the statement piece, the vehicle that tells the world how serious Genesis really is about competing at the very top of the luxury ladder. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.